Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Today it's match day, Lazio Juve. It's the last one that is closing the Sunday because we play at 8:45 p.m. Italian time. Of course, we will be here for a pre-game, for the watch-along, and for the post-game of an important game, a decisive game. Yeah, I don't like usually to use decisive game, especially not when it's October, but after 7 games where you are not winning, after 3 games where you are not scoring, well, today you are obliged to come back with a 3 points. If we don't win today, we can officially open the crisis. I know that for a lot of Juventini it is already a crisis moment, and how can I say that you are wrong after 7 games without win? On the other side, when I'm looking at the calendar and I'm seeing the next 5 games, there is a possibility to come back, and especially in Serie A and also in Champions League, start winning his games. Of course, we should have done it with Como already. We failed that opportunity. We have that chance. We know that on paper we have Lazio now, Lazio that is also in difficulties if we are speaking about injuries. We have Udinese, we have Cremonese, we have the Derby della Mole, there is Sporting there in between. So there is an opportunity if you don't win today. Oh ragazzi, forget about it. Forget, of course, about fighting for the Scudetto, but even more, that top 4 would be extremely in difficulty already in the month of October. So attenzione, who has been called up? Well, we see a lot of players that are traveling that are already in Roma. The usual ones are not there. Bremer, Cabal, Pinsoglio. No, Pinsoglio will probably travel. Not sure about that. But anyway, Bremer, Cabal will not be there. Rui and Milik. All the other ones are there. There is a slight change of third goalkeeper, Fuscaldo instead of Scaglia, and then the comeback of Pedro Felipe to at least give 5 center backs to Igor Tudor. And of course, since the press conference of yesterday, what is actually making the Juventini scared is the fact that we don't know if Kenan Yildiz will play today from the start in one of the most difficult games of the 5 next upcoming, because we heard it yesterday. Igor Tudor in press conference said that he had a little problem at the knee. What is the problem? Well, we are calling that a patellar tendinopathy. It's actually patellar tendinitis. What does it mean? It's an injury to the tendon connecting the kneecap to the shin bone, causing pain below the kneecap that worsen with activities like jumping, running, and stairs. A total disaster for a player. Now, we know it at all cost. Igor Tudor wants to play Kenan Yildiz there on the field today because he knows the importance of the game, and especially he knows how important Kenan Yildiz is, even if he didn't play at his max against Real Madrid. So he really wants to test him, and if today, this morning, in the last training session, is answering positively, I think that we will go toward that 3-4-2-1 with an offensive lineup that will see Kenan Yildiz, Jonathan David, and Dusan Vlahovic on top, that 3-4-2-1 that we already know. If not, if we decide that he needs to rest, well, we'll go towards another different lineup without Kenan Yildiz that I will reveal you in a second. But before that, I really wanted to give a bit more detail about my trip for the Derby della Mole in Miami. I will be there 1 or 2 days earlier of the game. If you want more information, look on the Juventus site. In the neighborhood, which one is the closest Juventus official fan club for where you live? Contact them, super easy, because you see all the details on the site, and you ask them information if you can join, yes or not. At the moment, I don't have the exact schedule, what I will do and where I will be, so I cannot give you that, but contact your club, because it will be really, really, really fun, and I really want to meet as much as possible Juventini from Miami and neighborhood in that first week or second weekend of November. And before that, I will also be there at the Allianz Stadium for Juventus Sporting Champions League, so also for the Juventini that are there for the Champions League game, let me know so that we can meet. What is that second lineup? Well, there is a slight change if we are looking at the latest information from Giovanni Albanese. Perin should start instead of Di Gregorio. Then there are 2 ways of giving an interpretation to that. Or one, Tudor is right, because he wants, after that fantastic performance against Real Madrid, to say, you know what, let him surf on that positivity wave. Let him continue to build that self-awareness that he's a really great goalkeeper. So don't play immediately, but rest and come back for the midweek game against Udinese. Or he says, you know what, don't play him. We don't play him. Why? Because actually we want to play Perin, and in that case, if there is not a psychological answer, in that case, I think that Tudor would be totally wrong, because of course you need to serve on that continuity, let him perform continuity, playing, because playing is the best answer to actually build even more that self-awareness. So I don't know if I explained me right or is right, because you want to work on the mental, letting him enjoy even more, one, or is wrong because he's not playing him and he should have played him after the game of Real Madrid. Let me know what you think, and I hope I have been clear. That second possible lineup is the one of Gianvaldi and Albanese that 99% of the time is right, telling us Perin into the goal with Kalulu, Gatti and Kelly, 3-man defense, and we play a 3-5-2, insisting on 3 men in that midfield, like we saw in a few games this season, in recent games. Conceição as a right wing back, Cambiaso as a left wing back, Koopmeiners, Locatelli, McKennie, and then Jonathan David pairing with Dusan Vlahovic, because in that case it means that Kenan Yildiz really needs to rest, especially in the beginning of the game. Do I like a 3-5-2? Guys, I don't care about formation. I told you a million of times. It's the way that how you're interpreting a way of playing. If you give everything, if you are in terms of behavior, if you are supporting each other, if you have players that can go up and down, for example, on the wings, well, you can do it with a 3-5-2. I saw teams with a 3-5-2 going into the final of Champions League or dominating Serie A with that 3-5-2. So I really don't care about the way of playing. Of course, when I see Conceição there, my big question is he the player that we want to go up and down for 90 minutes? Impossible. Knowing also that his sub, Jagrova, said yesterday by Tudor, he's not ready to play 90 minutes. Maybe he has at the moment 15-20 minutes, and we don't know when he will be at optimal condition. Is it something that is totally a surprising thing? No. A player that is coming back after 1 year, we could possibly anticipate that we already knew. So he needs to work, to continue to work, to put workload to arrive at the maximum of minutes in hope of seeing him soon starting a game. So what am I thinking with that 3-5-2? That is a 3-5-2 that is totally changing in possession, non-possession. In possession, that 3-5-2 can become a 4-man defense, with Cambiaso that is not really changing his position, slightly coming back a bit, but with Kalulu that is going on the right in that 4-man defense, because it becomes a 4-man defense. And then what do we see? A Conceição that will go much more offensively, with or a David or a Vlahovic that are going into that box, and the other one goes slightly on the left, forming a 4-3-3. This is what I think, that 3-5-2 that with a slightly change can become really immediately a 4-3-3, the idea. So one left wing back that is holding a bit more the position, and the right wing back that is going full power more offensively. Today is the game, according to La Gazzetta, La sfida della paura, the game of fear, the game that is scary. And it's true that if we are looking at Lazio with 8 points, Juve with 12 points, Lazio that in the last 5 games only won 1 with 2 losses and with draws, Juve that in the last 5 games in all competition won 0, because we come from 2 defeats against Como and Real Madrid, and before that 3 draws against Milan, Villarreal and Atalanta. Well, a lot are risking, a lot really are risking, but there is an answer from Igor Tudor that yesterday in press conference to the answer, are you scared? Are you thinking about what could possibly happen? Of course, you being dismissed, he said, I am absolutely not scared. I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about doing the best, understanding the players, the moment, the games, and I'm focused only on that. If I need to put on a scale how much I'm thinking about my position, about myself from 0 to 10, at the moment it's 0. He says, I am not scared. I tell you the truth, I am scared. Not about him leaving or not, but about the game of today. I tell you, I'm scared. Even if I predicted a 3-1 victory for Juve today in l'Olimpico, then pay attention. Looks like Tudor watched the videos recently, because what did he say in press conference? That he wants to attack. At risk of conceding more in the back, he wants to play more attackingly, more offensively, and I love that. You remember my advice to Igor Tudor when I told him, Tudor, please, whatever happens, that you totally collapse or that you are able to save the situation, but go with your own ideas, because the journey at Juve will stop. It's not today. it's maybe after Torino. If it's not after Torino, it could be even later. It could be at the end of the season. Maybe it will be in 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, but the journey at Juve, like it's totally logical, it will stop. So do it your way. Do it your way. Think about it. And what is the way of Tudor that I enjoyed when he was with other clubs? A team that is aggressive, a team that is pressing, a team that is going all in, that is pushing. So Igor, please go for it. Try. And that's where we saw the most beautiful Juve with Tudor, the most entertaining one that we're able to win. Because I repeat, this season only 3-1 wins. Yesterday, Napoli beat Inter 3-1, Atalanta 1-1 against Cremonese. What do we see? Controversy at the top is the title of Gazzetta dello Sport, because yesterday a lot of controversy. Napoli that is laughing, that is happy because they won 3-1, with Conte that is silencing Marotta. Marotta that went to the microphone yesterday to complain about the penalty given. Honestly, I understand he's complaining. I don't want to enter too much detail about Napoli or Inter. Let's first think about ourselves and win before speaking about the other. But I need to just tell you that I saw Gasperini last season in Europe blaming everyone, furious. I saw Ranieri. Yesterday they are sending the president of Inter to already start complaining after one mistake, because it was a mistake, one thing that has been whistled against them in, I believe, the last 5 years. They are sending the president. Ragazzi, everyone is complaining when they are losing. The only one that cannot complain, apparently, is us, Juve. We cannot, because we are Juve. And no, guys. Anyway, that's another thing. And in the next coming days, because today it's match day, we need to speak about Kenan Yildiz with everyone that is on the Turkish player. Arsenal, Chelsea, we already said it. Barcelona, Real Madrid that is going, pushing for the player. Juventus that is still negotiating with Kenan for the contract extension. We need to speak about that in later video. Not today because it's match day, but in the future, starting probably already tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, whatever. We need to speak about it because it starts to be extremely important. And that's why I'm telling you, if you want to convince the player to really stay at Juve for long, it's not the money that counts. Money is important, but what really counts is the ambition of Juve on the field, starting with winning today. If you enjoyed the video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.